Me pulling off my glasses is the equivalent of me pulling off my earrings. Y'all. Or as some say, child. As some would say, child, you got me messed up. Nevertheless, I just want y'all to really understand what that moment is about, because what did not go viral was the fact that I was actually sitting there trying to remind my colleagues of the legacy of Dr. King. I was trying to introduce or reintroduce, I was trying to provide an amendment that would allow for the Civil Rights Subcommittee and oversight to be reintroduced. And oversight, that's what it was about. Okay, and I didn't pick on nobody. I didn't start none. Okay. Instead, what I said was that tomorrow, being today, was going to be Dr. King's actual birthday, and on January 20th was going to be the swearing in of their beloved leader, as well as the day that we honor the legacy of Dr. King. And so I said, I know some of y'all think that when we say civil rights, it just means black folk. Let me clarify the definition of civil rights. And so I defined for them what civil rights look like, but I also told them the story of sitting on the plane traveling with Lucy Baines Johnson. Lucy Baines Johnson showed up to honor the life and legacy of President Carter. And as I sit here and we sit here in the legacy of Dr. King, I had to tell this story that Lucy Baines shared with me, because there's only stories that certain folk can pass down. And I had the benefit of flying with her, and I have met Lucy Baines a number of times, but this time we actually had some time because we were stuck on a plane for about 3-4 hours. And so we sat next to one another because she came up to me and said, I got to tell you, Congresswoman, my daughters love you. And it is the wildest thing for me to hear that the grandchildren of the late great, probably the last great president we had from Texas, but nevertheless, Lyndon Baines Johnson, for her to tell me the story of being an 18-year-old that was in the White House with her father at the time that he was going to be signing the Voting Rights Act into law. Now, all the civil rights leaders were there, y'all. She told me about the civil rights leader, and she told me that her father had this amazing handwriting, and this was the only time that the handwriting was bad on any bill, because he was giving everybody signing pens, and so he was just doing a little bit and then you got a pen, and he was handing them out because he really wanted all the civil rights leaders to get a signing pen. But she also told me that the very first signing pen that he handed out was to the Republican leader, or the opposition leader. I don't know if it was a Republican or not, because y'all know things was a little funny back then. But the minority leader who had stood against this legislation, who had finally come on board. And so she said, why would you give it to him first? And he said, because it was hardest for him. So that's why I gave it to him first. But more importantly, she didn't really want to go to the signing because she was 18 and it was going to be inconvenient for her. Because he decided that he was going to do the signing over in Congress. And so she said, Daddy, why do we have to go over there? And she said to her, little one, you have to understand that these members have a level of courage that means that them voting for the Voting Rights Act, they knew they were not coming back. So I asked my colleagues to channel just a fraction of the courage that members in the House possessed in the 1960s and allow us to just have the subcommittee on civil rights. That is what I did, and then it turned into trans folk, and then y'all know it just went completely left. But I do want to be clear that the substance of what I was trying to do did not go viral. But I want y'all to know that every day that I walk in those halls, regardless of whatever rhetoric they put out about me, I am a very serious lawmaker. At the same time, if you try me, you will find out. I just want to be clear about that, because I am truly a black woman at the same time. So I say thank you and God bless, and I do mess with the real Republicans.